Hello Internet, happy 2018. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Blue. Hopefully y'all are having a nice 2018 so far. I know I am. I read my horoscope. It says I'm gonna have the most amazing year. So this video I want to talk about sort of my situation with growing up with Microtia and single-sided deafness and whatnot. And then for those of you who don't know what Microtia is basically a congenital deformity that affects the outer ear. And then it's when the ear doesn't fully develop during the first trimester of pregnancy. But my condition, I was born with Microtia stage 3, meaning I don't have an ear canal. And if you can see, my ear does look funky. This was after reconstruction surgery because, like I said, I'd have self-confidence issues. This year I have an ear canal, so I can hear from my right side. Growing up with Microtia, it sucked. It sucked, but it happened. I was bullied. There would be times in middle school where I would wear sweaters. It didn't matter the season. I always had a sweater and I always had a hoodie. It would be 15 degrees or 99 degrees. I always had a hoodie. And these jerks would come up behind me. You knew who you are, or you know who you are if you're watching this. And pull down my sweater, like really trying to expose me and my ear. But it happened, like I said, and I have a great confidence now. So I wish I would go back and whoop their. No, I wish I went back there and told myself that everyone loves you, you are loved, and you are a great person, and no one can knock that down from you. But aside from that, I was always asked questions like, what's wrong with your ear? Why were you born like this? And I always had a script. My mom and I practiced. We told each other, you know, what to say or how I would approach the situation, and I would always tell them like I was born this way when I'd be kind of annoyed, or I would give them like an explanation and sort of try to explain myself, which I didn't have to, but me being the nice person that I am, I would always do some shit like that. But in classrooms, my single-sided deafness always affected me because I never really processed a lot of the information. Some of it was missing because I never really heard it, because I always sat in the back too. Sometimes I'd sit in the front. There would be times where I had misinformation, and because I was so self-conscious, I was so self-conscious about the way I looked, or I don't know, it just affected me that I wouldn't even ask the teacher, like, can you repeat that? I missed that. Or I'd be so nervous, which, you know, it sucks that a person can be, or a kid can be broken that bad to that point. But it happened, I moved on. And then middle school, still same questions, same assholes. Alright, so I want to touch on 3 topics that I kind of wrote down, sorry, I just remembered. And those are common courtesy. So I understand, you know, kids are curious. I was also a curious person. They would ask me, what's wrong with you? Why do you look like this? And I would, like I said, respond to them. But adults, for some reason, always had something to say as well. And for me personally, my mom always taught me to mind my business and like not judge a person, especially if like something's physically wrong with them. No, not wrong with them, they look different or whatever, just because I wouldn't want that same scenario on me. I wouldn't want someone to judge me by my physical appearance. I mean, it happened, but I don't want to be judged anymore than I already am. So why bring that sadness, or why bring that attention, negative attention, to somebody else? But y'all, some people don't have common courtesy. Like there was this situation 3 years ago. It was at a birthday dinner. It was my friend had just started dating this guy from the same city that I was born in, and this girl once told me, like I overheard, she was like, oh, Jason, the one with the ear. And I feel like a lot of people had that assumption of me, like Jason with the ear. And by the way, that's my real name, but don't call me that. That's Blue's my stage name in life, and that's what I'd like to be called. Yeah, so Jason with the ear, I feel like this kid remembered me before my reconstructive surgery, so he kind of knew how I looked, and we were eating or whatever, and out of nowhere, this guy has the audacity to ask me, like, what's wrong with your ear? and I just looked at my boyfriend because I had, like, mind you, I hadn't been asked this question in a long time, so I was sideswiped. I was blindsided. I answered. I pulled something out of my butt and just like, whoa. I don't know. It kind of brought back all those emotions, and it sort of triggered me. Yeah. So common courtesy, guys. Sorry, my ear was itchy. Common courtesy. I feel like if you are a curious person, it's always nice to befriend someone and get comfortable and build that relationship and that foundation, and then ask them, you know, hey, I'm curious to kind of, I don't want this to offend you or anything, but I'm just really curious. If someone approached me like that, I would be like, yes, now let me answer your question. But out of nowhere, and it was at the wrong time and the wrong place. So always common courtesy. Sound location is a big tricky one for me. It's something I still deal with and I will continue to deal with. And let's say there's an ambulance coming my way and I hear it, I don't know where it's coming from. Like, I have to locate that sound, or if someone's calling me and they're behind me, it doesn't matter. I don't know if they're behind me or in front of me or to my left or to my right. I have to visually look for them, scope them out. It's one of those things where if one of your senses is knocked down, you kind of gain more, what's the word? You gain more strength than other senses. So I'm a very observant person, always have been, and I think that's what got me good grades in high school. Well, not in high school. I was always a good student. I never let my hearing be an obstacle for me. Student of the year at one point. Overstimulation. Alright, so you know when you're at a restaurant and you're talking to someone and they're in front of you and like you're trying to focus and have the conversation and really listen. It's really hard for me. I hear like every third word because it's really hard to block out the rest of the noise, like the dishes, people talking in front of me, behind me, silverware touching dishes, like I said, or plates. And I get overstimulated, my sensory is just going all over the place. So sometimes I'll panic or I'll get anxious. It's only happened like twice. It's easier for people with two hearing to kind of block that out and really focus on whatever the person in front of them is saying. So like I said, I've had to focus more on the visual aspect and really read lips. And it's something that I've learned back when I was a kid, and one of the many skills of mine. I think that's all I wanted to say for this video, to be honest. Hopefully you have an amazing rest of the year. You deserve it. You glowing, you healing. It's you time. Cheers.